Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's up, nobody? The answer is yes, I have seen, well, not everything yet. I haven't seen much of the recent stuff, but I do know of that group. What's up, Sonny? Long time no see, right? Been lazy as hell. Welcome back, P. Barnes. This is just lots and lots of crazy, ain't it? I do know that. Justin, how you doing, man? By the way, I haven't seen that one either. I haven't. I know they got busted. I don't know what they got busted on, necessarily. I know I know Devon Bay's got. He's kind of going after everybody. I don't really pay attention to him anymore. It's like he's like the lowest of the low-hanging fruit when it comes to these more sovs. Like, he makes an ass of himself, like, just being on camera, to the point where I feel like it's a waste of my time to engage in him. How you doing, Denise? Oh, they're still live? What in the world? Defense of Rise of the Moors.
And most definitely, they're not Americans.
I too am American.
Period.
Wait, are they reading up their the guys
the Europeans mad that the time's up.
Arrest listing?
You're mad. You don't have to be. You don't have to be.
And the prophet said, we're gonna leave some of these Europeans.
What's up, Joe Burns? What's going on, y'all? Happy Friday.
They're not even here teaching that. They're here slandering Moors. They're not even here teaching government.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Am I?
Once the Moors come together collectively,
I ain't mad.
The Europeans that's gonna stay here is gonna be the ones that's gonna be teaching government, and they're gonna be the ones that's still farming around here. When the ones that in these
can I join?
Governmental capacity that is frequently robbing the indigenous Aboriginal people, oh yeah, they're gonna be the ones that's gonna be up out of this country. They're gonna be put on a ship and get the hell on.
Oh no.
Because that's what it really needs to happen. Like all these I'm just looking at all the
Rise of the Moor disrespect by European Moor hater. What are they talking about Virgo in this?
Asiatic, doesn't matter. Okay, you using your authority and you abusing your power. All those Europeans, we need to get them and pop them all up and throw their ass in a paddy wagon and put them on the boat.
Paddy wagon. Hey, we don't use that term anymore, sir. We don't use none of that slanderous term such as paddy wagon anymore. Come on now.
Europeans that wanna, do what's right and
make America great again.
Make America great again for real.
My command of the English will keep me from joining.
You can stay.
Fair point.
You can stay. Yeah, you can stay. Yeah,
I've heard of these guys. That's why I subscribe to them, because they're kind of insane.
I'm sorry, buddy. Let me see what you did. When you was on the bench for how many years and how many people you put on death row, and I'm looking at everything. I'm evaluating you just like you evaluate all these innocent people and you put them in prison and you lock them up. That's how I'm going to do your ass.
Until we're in that seat. Until we're in that seat. There ain't nothing.
I'm not gonna
that till we're in that seat.
keep it going with these guys. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna stick with this nonsense for all night. Don't worry. But I was interested. I was interested to see that they're still live. I thought they came on live like 3 hours ago or something like that.
For real.
Islam to all Moors. So keep on keeping on, Moors. You already know. The sellout is real. Make sure you study.
What's up, Alpha?
Study.
Oh God.
Make sure you study.
Right, and pay that $650 gold package, right?
Because once you finish studying and you ask what to study else, we say study self.
And that's all it's about. Study, and study self.
I posted a link to join in on DJen's channel.
You have to lift your ear to slander.
If no one's going to join, then I get it. I put this up on short notice, so I don't blame them at all if they can't join in on this. I'll just watch some videos and we'll have a good time as we normally do.
That's right.
But I imagine myself, DJen, Goober, Virgo, Van Balian. We gotta put something together. Put up a weekly live stream or something like that. This motherfucker's playing WoW. DJen, you're playing World of Warcraft. You son of a. All right, I can't blame you. I can't hate on him too much for that.
I want to give a big up to everybody in Candyland. I want to give a big up to Al-Tarak Bay. I want to give a big up to Karabe. And I want to give a big up to all the people that's out there, all the Muslims around the world that's trying to get their life, their house in order so they can be more productive for us. That's going to exact the Prophet's law. Peace and Islam.
Islam. Peace and love, Moors.
Are they dropping it now?
Peace and love.
What's up, Goober? Hey, Goober, I posted a link to the Hangout if you're interested in joining. I have the Hangout live right now. I posted the link in DJen's Discord. Yeah, I think they're calling it a night, aren't they? At least I hope so. Oh boy. Yeah, no, we're not listening to that. I'm sorry. Hey, what's up, Virgo? Like I was telling Goober, you can get if you're part of DJen's Discord, you can get a link to the chat, link to the Hangout on there. I am not letting that play. And I mean, I can't even hear anything, and it looks really cringe. Like, but is that Palpatine lightning that he just dropped? Oh. All right, hold on. Screw it. Here. They'll force choke all the Europeans. I bet they wish.
I wouldn't call it murder when I snapped the neck of my clone, trying to escape with the Morris Temple Charter. See the space the Carter, no making me a martyr.
Is that fake ass shaky cam? I like how they're just sitting there not doing a goddamn thing, and this dude's talking still, is rapping, whatever.
Keep listening sleepless hip hop insomniac, Moorish MC. Call me that acquiesce, don't call back, just fall back. Any rapper after 95, all whack. This flow just trickles like drops on icicles. Rappers need training wheels on their rhyme-sickles. Keep people's mind pickled in a lost realm. When it comes to Moorish MCs, I'm not.
They were saying a lawyer can't sit on the bench. I know that's a common meme that they have. That because the idea is that if an attorney cannot be a judge, because if they like rule on anything, that they're practicing law from the bench by virtue of the fact that they're still a barred attorney, something stupid like that. I know they think it's a conflict of interest when they have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
Islam, boy.
So, you know, I just put the link to the Hangout on there. Oh, who dis?
What's that?
What's up? Hey,
Not much. How you doing?
Is that Kal-El? What's going on, man?
Yes. Yeah. It's Ed.
Ed. How you doing, Ed?
Just real Ed. Not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's going on, man? Have you done any calls lately?
No, it's just been so busy. But I do have I'm always finding numbers, so I've been trying to call Devon lately, and he just he won't answer, but he'll send back text messages like asking who this is and stuff like that.
I imagine so. I've long given up on him, or at least dealing with him, because it's like, I don't know, it's like making fun of a retarded baby.
He speaks about the same stuff over and over and over again.
Yeah, I know. It's just, what's the point, you know?
Yeah. Last night I crashed Light Jury Bay's conference call.
Oh yeah.
And oh my God, she couldn't mute me for some reason for like a half an hour. And I just kept on asking her. I asked her over and over again, show your people documentation that your liens work. Show your people that your console court worked, and you sent these people that you say that you're sending to Guantanamo Bay. And she's like, she couldn't do it.
Well, of course
Really?
you can't.
Yeah. You know, it was just like, then I just got bored listening to, they started going in and talking about the all capital letters bull crap and stuff like that. Then I started playing some death metal music for her. She didn't appreciate that.
Was it at least Moorish death metal? I mean,
no, it started out with Body Count, so Ice-T being black, so so it started out with that. Then I was listening to XM radio, so I was driving and on my way back from work, and decided I was like, oh shit, it's 8 o'clock. I wonder if she's still on. And I called up and she was still on.
it was
Hey,
funny.
Artie.
Hey, Virgo.
Hi, Virgo.
And hey,
How's
Goober.
everybody?
Hey, Artie.
What's going on, y'all? It's
Not
about
much. How are you?
good. It's about time we actually put this thing together. I know we've been talking about it for God knows how long, but I don't know. I felt like, why not make it tonight? So, meanwhile,
Yeah, we need to get
Sure.
Chuck and Van in here too.
It's a little harder with them because of where they're located.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
true.
that would be.
Meanwhile, DGen is playing World of Warcraft like a freaking scrub, but I don't blame him.
Hey.
I don't blame him at all, though.
I never got into that.
So this was crazy, you guys. This whole thing got started with me actually just reporting what really happened.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No. Yeah. People were asking me about that. I heard about it. I haven't watched anything. So yeah, definitely give like a synopsis of what went down today and why you seem to be on these guys' shit list.
Yeah, well, what actually occurred was that a couple of days ago, there was a raid that took place by Rhode Island state troopers, or state police rather, on Jamal Rise of the Moors' home and many of the Moors that live with him. And apparently, they had a warrant for his arrest. He didn't want to open the door. He had a sign posted on his door that said that if you enter his home without permission, that he will basically fire at will. I'm
Oh,
paraphrasing because I'm only going off of what his own video said, so I'm paraphrasing. I didn't read the notice on the door. They used a battering ram to get into the property, arrested him and 2 others, and then all of a sudden, there was all of these things that were popping up on different Moors channels about asking for money to get them out of jail and all these other things. So today, I decided, okay, I had a lot of emails and comments about this whole scenario. So I looked up the case in Rhode Island, and I was able to give everybody a glimpse into what the charges are, which, in my opinion, are not all that big of a deal. They're all 3 misdemeanor charges having to do
right.
with evading arrest and that sort of thing. But because I'm unable currently to locate the actual charges, because the docket is not complete, it's very obvious that it was just thrown in there due to
Hmm.
the fact that they finally put him, they finally had him see a judge in order to get a bail amount, which was $20,000, and of course they're requiring 10% of that, so $2,000 is what they were e-begging for, basically.
Right.
And I made that video and put it up. It was a 4 or 5 minute video is all. It contained nothing but facts, proof of the actual charges from Rhode Island,
Hmm.
and my statement with regards to previous videos where I have shown Jamal, making his statements about firing at people, that and how to go about doing that and doing maximum bodily damage. So me making that statement along with actually showing the facts of what's going on with this set off the Candyland Moors. Now I call them that because
Yeah.
there's no such place as Cannonland. So, but anyway, so they started going, and then Mr. Swindle Hoodwinked contacted me and said, "Hey, they're over here going off on you about all this other stuff." Started sending me a couple of screenshots. So I said, "Well, let me make it back to my computer and put this information up so that everybody could actually take a look at what they're saying." And that's how all of this got started, over a factual video.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's a lot of. I was at work. I was listening to that video, and they were playing a little bit at a time, then critiquing it, and playing a little bit more and critiquing it and stuff like that. And they called her a white European, and she was dissing the Moors on the holy day.
Wait, which one? What?
The
What?
Candyland Moors.
They make
but
up they kind of have like some kind of a holy day thing, which is weird because it seems like I've seen that like once a month.
It's supposed to be every Friday.
Oh, it's every Friday?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Well,
What? So it's like their Sabbath or something?
I don't know. I'm still. I'm still trying to figure these people out, because there's so many different groups of these people, and it's ridiculous, and they all go their different ways and stuff like
Right.
that. And
Like I know oftentimes it's like a bastardization of like Egyptian mythology and Islam and vaguely Christian themes thrown in, like the shit mix.
right.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of make things up as they go, and each faction sort of makes up a new thing. So that's it's very difficult to keep track of if you're if you're using any kind of actual logic at all.
Yeah, I posted on the what is it, the Discord thing of a new guy I found, but it was like a year or two old, and
Oh yeah, I
that
saw
he
that.
yeah, that was crazy. I mean,
I already commented on that one, but
yeah,
but the thing is that video, I already saw that video. It's nothing that I haven't heard before, especially
yeah,
when it comes to the legal side. It's the same old, same old. Hey, that's what's fascinating about this whole thing to me is that no, even when it comes to the Moors, like despite how insane and crazy they can get when it comes to their revisionist history, they are still reading from the exact same script as any other white bread sovereign citizen does.
For
exactly.
sure. For sure. And they even push it further in a lot of instances. It's like a group of people that are asking, not not asking. Those are the SovCits that are asking. These guys are begging for some confrontation to either get themselves hurt or thrown in jail. It's amazing.
Okay, I was just I've been texting back and forth with I don't know if you guys are familiar with his, I can't pronounce his name properly, but it's TJ, and it's Moorish World TV, the guy that just sits there and sings half the time during his
Oh,
show.
Taharka.
Yeah. I've got his phone number, and he's got my phone number, and I've actually spoke to him a number of times. He knows my real name and stuff like that, because I want to be as honest as I can with him. And I was just talking to him about I found 3 more Science Temples of America that are number 13. One of them is in New Jersey, one in Baltimore, and one in Detroit. The one in Detroit is run by C. Cannon Bay, who claims to be the president of the United States of America Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, and that's I did one of my random calls was to one of his cronies, but TJ is just like looking for why is there 3 13s when there's only supposed to be one, and it's not even in the 3 cities that I mentioned to him. So he's going to get back to me on that. He's been a really good resource of information when I need it.
Well, and he's actively calling out the scammers too.
Yeah.
I've seen that in a few of his lives.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't have an issue with the fact we have freedom of religion in this country. I believe in that myself. I think that it's important to differentiate between the two groups,
right?
Because of that fact. And we have a group, the group that are actually the Temple Moors, and then we have the group that are the out there scammers.
Like I personally don't care. If all it was just this revisionist history, I personally would not care. You are free to believe whatever the heck you want, and I know that there is a part of the group that doesn't buy into this, regardless of whether your revisionist history and view of the founding of this nation is completely insane. I do not care. It's just when you're trying to do these legal tactics and shit that grates me, and that's where people get involved.
Yeah, it's harming other people through scams and giving them direct disinformation that drives me crazy. I could care less if they want to believe something that is revision, like you said. I mean, I don't understand the scammers.
Yeah, the big money maker like Noble L, and she's dumber than a box of rocks. I mean, somebody fills her with the baby's penis scrotum can be circumcised scrotum can be stretched 3 to 4 times the size of a football field, and whoever somebody, if you notice lately with her videos, there's a script up there she's reading from. Somebody has been feeding this woman with a bunch of information, and
that's the foreskin, not the scrotum.
whatever. I just some of the stuff that she comes up with is just.
If I wasn't already demonetized, I sure as shit am now.
I'm so sorry, Artie.
I'm just kidding.
No, she's monetized now, which is it's just like, oh my god, how the hell did she get monetized?
Isn't it? Yeah. Also, Noble L. She's the one who also like kind of, in addition to spreading Moorish sovereign BS, she also spreads like the alternative health BS, right? I know a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
them do that too. It's
Yeah.
it's amazing how the Venn diagram of alternative health and sovereign citizen and all other kinds of insane, conspiracy shit,
Yeah,
turns
it's
into a
any kind
circle.
of conspiracy that drives them away or incites anger of the government. That's what it is.
Attention, all international authorities.
Yeah. That,
Yeah, that,
Yeah, I've seen that one a lot.
yeah, that just gets. I'm trying to figure out who all the international authorities are. Still trying to figure out that. I have her phone number, and I've called a number of times, and she won't pick up.
Yeah, well, who wants to debate BS? I mean, she knows what she's saying isn't
Yeah.
accurate.
When I crashed Light Tajiri Bay's call last night, I asked her to debate, or asked her if I could we could do a conference call and so do a Q&A. She said no.
Well, no, obviously she doesn't want to. She definitely doesn't want to debate anybody who knows what they're talking about. I mean,
Yeah.
she's happy to, pull a straw man fallacy argument, and just punch it whatever, but she's not going to actually attempt to debate anybody with real resources.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
who's our other party that's on here that's in mute right now? The birdie.
it's Desert Sentinel, right?
Oh, hey, Desert. How are
Hey,
you?
Desert.
It's a desert.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
There we go. I'm trying to figure out how to unmute.
You are unmuted.
You're unmuted.
We can hear
Hey,
you.
how's it going? If you haven't heard yet, I deleted all my channels.
What happened?
Things are getting a little bit too hot with certain individuals within the First Amendment, and one particular individual is dangerous, and people know me too well.
Is
Oh my
that right?
gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
Is there
sorry.
anything we can do to help?
Well, I just burned and turned, and I'm going to redirect myself into other ventures.
Yeah, that's
I
what
see.
that's what I had to do. I had another channel, and it got shut down for copyright infringements. One or two of those strikes were from Tazadok Shah, and the other one was from Hellraiser, and that's just basically debunking them.
Did you file an appeal?
I don't want to file an appeal because I don't want to use my real name and my real identity and all that bull crap.
I see.
So
Yeah, see, unfortunately with me, who came into the First Amendment community as an auditor and was involved with other auditors and had been personally involved with these auditors, I'm known.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got
Okay, that's fair.
And I'd already had my channel taken down by Earl David Warden, the rapist, in Houston, who I personally met once because I was getting on the bandwagon with others who discovered his rape conviction and was outing him.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So this time I went ahead and got rid of my own channel. See, I've been working behind the scenes, warning religious centers about Zoe Perez Furry Potato.
Oh.
And unfortunately, there was somebody that had been, again, in the auditing community like myself, who was disenchanted by them and had kind of had people turn his back on him. So he therefore kind of got into the fold of the auditor watchers.
Oops. Yeah, I gotta move. Dogs are starting to go a little nuts.
Well, Desert,
So when I
to a point where you are set back up again and you've redesigned yourself to whatever you want to do, if it's part of watchdogging still, please let us know so we can help you build.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, as far as YouTube is concerned, I am truly dead. I wanted to be dead when my first channel was taken down. The only reason I came back was for the sake of the victims of Earl David Warden.
I see.
But you've already seen my influence a little bit from late last night when Jamal Latimer was arrested and I pulled his record.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for everything that you contributed up to this point. And if you change your mind or if you go on a different platform that we can assist you, please let us know, okay?
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
I'm definitely here to let you know that, I mean, I need to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
However, I have picked up some skills on being able to track down information, court cases, different states, with all the auditors that I was following, going through all the minutiae of all the different state and county and federal levels of searching records out and even doing public records requests.
Yeah.
I don't mind taking on a few Snoop for Truth type audits of these people through their public records.
Yeah, I would say
I see.
you would drop in my channel, and I would be impressed by your ability. That you say that you pretty much had an updated list of who was arrested, and who had updated courts, who had court dates upcoming. So I would say that's impressive. So I think that's something that you could take with you.
Yeah, and I don't mind it. These auditors, a lot back to the where some have called them the sovereign citizen lights of the world, which I agree with. They're SovCit lights. Some of them are getting more sovereign than others.
Yeah. I was going to say they're not as light as they used to be, are they?
No, especially when you're looking at people like Joshua Cordova, aka Philly News Now, who was threatening to take a 12 gauge Russian automatic shotgun to court with them the next day and shoot the place up. And then he gets arrested that night for terroristic threats. No, some of these people are getting dangerous.
Yeah. Yep.
Here's a little thing is I do some work for this gentleman that works for Google, and I've talked with him, and he knows some people over at the YouTube part, and I just got to get the time and get everything all set up. I got to email him a letter and stuff like that, so I can send to him and show him what's actually going on and stuff like that, where links between the videos, websites, and showing him that these people are scammers and what they're doing is wrong, and they're promoting it on the YouTube platform, and go from that. But I got to get a couple of days off from work and just get that all going and stuff like that, because it's going to take me a while to get that in. But that's just basically a beginning of trying to shut these people down on YouTube for what they're doing. I mean, I bet you half these, if YouTube found out, or these people found out what these people are doing on YouTube, they'd probably shut down 3/4 of them. But their algorithms are okay, so they're good to stay up and stuff like that, which is all bull crap.
Well, I got one for you. My attorney, I believe, won his assembly seat again in Sacramento.
Okay.
And I may be taking some ideas to him as far as trying to enact some legislation towards issues concerning this and auditing. And the one thing that we have is YouTube is in San Bruno, California. So if laws are enacted, I can take some language to him and explain to him what's going on through YouTube. And if laws are enacted in California, that will affect YouTube.
Right. Well, the sad part about this is that all of the claims that have been made in the past by particularly the auditors is that this has to do with, we all know this is not true for most of them. Some of them it is. The good ones it is, but there are several that are not good that are actually going to cause people's rights to be taken away because of what they're doing. And that, unfortunately, is what there's such a large amount of them that are doing damage at this point. That's exactly what's going to end up happening because it has become a necessity.
Yeah, I think there's a very fine line that you're going to have to draw there, and I don't know if there's really anything that California can do, because a lot of at least how they start their actions are generally protected. It's when the problem comes when you watch their videos and you can see that they're doing more than just simply, auditing or being accountable. They are inherently in trying to antagonize law enforcement and trying to goad them into action. And then oftentimes we would tend to side with law enforcement, even if what most of what they were doing in the first place was protected. So I don't know if there's really a chance that you're going to have legislation, especially when it's legislation that's going to affect YouTube, when it comes to specifically involving auditors.
Well, auditors, and unfortunately, the state of some of the district attorney's offices out here in California, there are privacy laws that many of them break. There are disturbing the peace or obstructing or I mean, early on, there was a DMV audit, and this, speaking of Zoe Perez, Monkey 83, Kyle Shockley, and James Allen Springer, James Freeman, who still has an open warrant for his arrest for it. The 2 out of the 3 were convicted of disturbing, the operations of a business with the DMV. And many of them toe this fine line of just passively recording to disturbing or obstructing the business,
Right.
interrupting operations of a business. Also,
Right.
There are privacy laws in California, and I have seen many auditors who get close enough to somebody who's calling law enforcement and out personal information, and that's broadcast live on YouTube, and that is unlawful in the state of California. You cannot do that. There's a lot of things that these people do that just that doesn't get prosecuted. Also, I wanted to talk about notoriety laws in California. That no, it's not the camera, it's the actions that they take while they have a camera in their hand. It's the crimes they commit while carrying a camera.
Right.
And other states have notoriety laws that if you use that to gain monetarily or get some sort of street cred like they do on YouTube, that would be notoriety. And many of them are making money hand over fist, getting arrested on piddly misdemeanors. They make way more money off of YouTube and donations and super chat and all that and PayPals when they get arrested because they need money for their legal defense. And then what they do, they plea out and pay a $300 fine when they've made $3,000 on the video alone.
Yeah, and they pocket the difference. Sounds about right. It's a nice gig if you can get it. Nice hustle.
Yeah, the way that the way that these idiots like to come after people who have
I'll be right
genuine issues with trying to pay for a medical bill or something of that sort. They don't think twice about going after them, calling them e-beggars and everything else, and then they're turning around and keeping $15,000 out of out of a $16,000 GoFundMe. It's crazy.
Now, the biggest thing that they're also playing with fire out here in California is the fact that a lot of the larger metropolitan areas like Los Angeles County, I know the attitudes in some of the surrounding counties with law enforcement on how to handle these people. And they don't get any traction on many of their videos because police and government don't react. The problem out here is they're going more and more after private business. And they're getting reactions. And of course, the reactions get them views. People are getting violent because they don't like to be recorded. They're at work.
Right.
And they know this. They're playing off of human nature. That was the whole thing with Zoe Perez and going to synagogues, because she knows that will have fear and alarm if somebody shows up in a burqa or a black hoodie with a face mask on, and people will get upset and approach and have a problem with it.
Oh God.
And Zoe Perez is not beyond having somebody batter Zoe for the mere purpose of being able to get that private person's arrest. And I know where that started when Zoe found out about the power of the private person's arrest. And Zoe has been capitalizing on it ever since.
It's really sickening.
You talking about that just reminded me of that incident in Dearborn, Michigan. Because we go walking into a police station, guns out and baklavas isn't possibly going to stir something when you walk into a police station like that. But
I remember that video already.
Yeah,
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Hey, Goober, you should actually get with Desert, because we desperately need someone else in the watchdog community, especially if Desert's going to be gone, with regards to these auditors.
The A1?
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to get with him on that one.
I've got a lot of files on these people, backgrounds, things that I didn't publish. Had continued to, as new auditors came into the fold and got arrested, would start putting in for booking cards and public records requests. The only one that I've been denied so far is in Alabama. This little city in Alabama won't give me any information other than a case number on an auditor that was arrested down there. They're being real tight-lipped. And I may have to go to the Attorney General for it.
Interesting.
But for the most part, I've been able to identify new auditors as they get arrested.
I'm not too familiar with the auditors. What is their final? I don't know how to say that. What is their objective?
If I'm
Money.
if I'm going to be like on the surface level, the idea is most of them ascribe to the very, sort of libertarian-esque mantra of, limited government and holding law enforcement accountable and ensuring that they are not infringing upon, our First Amendment rights or any of our protected rights. And the idea when they say that they're auditing is oftentimes they do that to try and film, police when they're engaging in the course of their duties. Because, because of recent news and issues involving, the role of law enforcement and issues of brutality, excessive force, etc., these auditors go in and say we're filming to ensure that the police are engaging in the proper restraint and ensuring that rights are being protected. That is the surface level understanding of what their objectives are. In other words, to hold them accountable and to audit law enforcement to ensure that they're doing what they're supposed to do and restraining themselves as they're supposed to do. The problem
Okay.
is that a lot of people, as many people here have seen and have known, is that some of these guys aren't there for that purpose, but rather a lot of them realize that, you know, videos of tyrant police engaging in excessive force is a very clickbaity and view heavy entertainment venue for them to make money. Or many of them aren't just simply holding police accountable, they're actual openly hostile to police and are willing to goad police into doing X, Y, and Z and claiming that they are being repressed. So,
And
yeah.
some of them just have oppositional defiance disorder.
Yeah. Harvey Dent.
Yeah. Well, anymore, and there's a lot of them out here in California and on the East Coast that flat out are just clowns with cameras who have been trained in a genre on YouTube. And there's a specific script that you follow to get your content. That's why some of it is just so monotonous, because it's the same thing over and over again. And these people have been indoctrinated by those who were basically coming into the so-called community or movement when I did, and they were all shown how to absolutely capitalize on this genre. It has nothing to do with rights. It has nothing to do with keeping anybody accountable.
Yeah.
It's a script.
Very similar to the SovCits and the Moors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Moors that are the online scamming Moors, rather.
Unfortunately, there are people like Maria, who goes, I forgot her last name, Mrs. Mac, Little Mac in Michigan, who completely believes in what this movement is all about and is facing a second set of charges for doing auditing or public photography in the manner that she was taught through YouTube. There are a few of them out there who wholly believe in what this whole movement is all about.
It's crazy. I mean, here in Vermont, we have what is called the Rainbow Gathering every few years. You get these sovereign citizens here saying that they're traveling and not driving, bull crap and stuff like that. And the police here have like zero tolerance for any of that crap. And it just, I mean, there was a video here of one of those First Amendment auditors going up to the state capital, Montpelier here in Vermont, and that didn't go well for him.
Oh God, Vermont. That's right next door to New Hampshire and the Free Keene movement.
Yeah.
Well, I know Anselmo Morales and Anselmo Enrique Morales Torres, Auditing America, and Will Turbot, Demand the Truth, have been touring. I don't know if it was one of those two. And then you got Joshua Abrams of Accountability for All
I think that's
doing
Joshua
the
in Vermont.
Whoa! Jesus Christ! What the fuck?
What is that?
God damn it! Mute! Fuck! Desert! Jesus! Fuck!
Whoa.
Oh my God!
You all right?
Ouch.
My earballs.
Are you okay, Artie? That was pretty harsh.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Holy crap. What the hell happened there?
Oh.
I don't know. He's on mute right now. Thank goodness. I think.
Damn it!
Uh-oh.
No! Stop it!
Mute it, Desert.
I'm
mute
trying.
it.
Fuck!
He's got something
Okay.
going on.
Something's wrong for sure. Artie, unmute yourself real quick. Okay, we're still okay. Desert, it's on your end, hun. Something's wrong mechanically here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
There we go. Artie, you okay?
I'm okay. God damn.
Oh no. Oh no.
No.
My
the,
ears.
the drawbacks of wearing good headphones.
No.
Yes.
Now, Artie, you're in Jersey, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm maybe going down close to Devon here soon to pick up some mufflers for my motorcycle, and I may knock on his door and see what he does.
Oh yeah.
He'd probably.
I was just gonna say he's up like in upstate in New York, right?
Hyde
No,
Park.
yeah, Hyde Park, which is about 3 hours south of me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I live right on the Vermont-New York border. So if you ever heard of Lake George, New York, Lake George is probably 45 minutes away from me.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm up north of Albany and all that crap.
Is DGen still playing games?
Probably.
I'm hoping at some point we can all get together on an actual conference call that's not live for necessarily everybody to see, but I've got some information that I need to share with everyone on what's going on kind of underground with the groups that are part of the factions of Moors that we watch. It's some pretty serious information, and I want to make sure that everybody's aware of it. Hopefully we can find a time that everybody can maybe join.
Yeah. I mean, I try to pass on as much information as what I find. Like, I'll text you, Virgo, then I'll post it in the in the chat that we have going.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this is more of a law enforcement thing that I think we need to keep an eye out for, and I just need to make sure everybody is kind of aware of it before I let all of the subscribers know about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Do we know if Jamal is going to court this month over in Concord, New Hampshire?
Yes. Am I okay now? Am
You're
I
okay.
blasting? I think I know what happened because every once in a while there's some interference with the system here, and I don't know what it does to my headset, but it blasts it.
Well, I'm gonna have to file charges for assault on your headset.
Oh my.
Because my ears were violated.
Well, it looks like I'll be reporting on that soon.
Without consent.
Hello?
You're
Hello?
here. We can hear you.
You there,
boy.
Desert? I think we lost him.
Oh God, not again.
Take off your head. Yeah, take off your headset.
Okay. Now I'm with you.
All right.
You're still squealing a little bit, Desert.
I think that's the construction truck or something like that backing up. That's what it sounds like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a truck. I'm glad to hear the way you guys are talking. Unfortunately, with many of the people that are kind of working in the discords in the First Amendment community, there's too many of them that have certain sympathies.
Right.
And depending on, whatever their feels are for the day, it, like I said, it was, the whole affair was getting extremely dangerous for me over there, that I never knew who I could trust within that community, even behind the scenes.
Right.
And unfortunately, through the discords, even if you vet as many people as you possibly can, there has been spies.
Well, we're sure gonna miss you.
Well, yeah, I'm here. I'm around. You can get a hold of me. I'm still connected through DGen's Discord server. You can always direct message me through there.
Okay. Hey guys, I gotta say goodbye. I gotta get going here.
Okay.
Okay.
You have a good night.
Yeah, bye.
And
See you later,
I
man.
think I can, Virgo, I can find your, I know you say your email from time to time.
Virgo Triad at protonmail.com.
Okay, that's it. And I can email you directly, so you can always have my contact.
Yeah,
Do
please do.
you remember a watchdog, a sovereign watchdog, Freighter?
Yep.
Freighter and I are in contact all the time.
Okay. Yeah, I talked to Freighter quite a bit.
Yeah, so you can always reach me through Freighter. But in fact, I emailed them today, and I'll probably be seeing them here very shortly. On Facebook.
Okay.
I don't
All right.
Facebook really. I have a Facebook, and I kind of, I reset my password so I could go in and kind of do a little bit of Facebook searching. But I kind of scrubbed my Facebook, and it's been dormant for a decade now because of auditing. I've had to do my best to keep my employment secret because these auditors are vindictive. They get a hair up their ass, and people have lost their jobs.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be careful when you're dealing with any of these so-called movements. They all can get very dangerous and nasty. So you stay safe because I know what it's like to deal with them.
Yeah, I've got an auditor friend of mine, and I'm still in contact with them, and he's pretty much out of the movement now. That has lost 2 jobs over it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it can get rough.
And he was trying to do his best. He was still auditing, but he was doing stringer work, and the only way he could do stringer work was to have a working PayPal. And the auditors out of Texas went after him. They got his PayPal shut down. So then now he couldn't even do stringer work because that's tied to your bank. It's tied to your social security number. And it took away his livelihood.
Wow.
These guys
they'll
are
do just about anything they can. Any of these people in these movements will do just about anything they can to try to shut you up.
Well, and this is internal feuding.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing. A lot of these different factions of all of these different groups, they can't seem to keep it together. That's one of the things that busts them up is the constant infighting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, and accelerated here over the past year. And I don't know if you were following me closely enough to know that last year I averaged out the amount of arrests to around 250 for last year. Now, so far this week, I haven't heard of an arrest, but they've still have had an arrest every week this year.
Wow.
It's slowed down quite a bit because they have there's like Eric Brandt and Abdi Arizari, Liberty Freak, who have multiple cases this month, but there were over 50 cases that were being tracked this month alone.
That Eric Brandt
Wow.
is a different one.
and we've had at least 3 in the running right now that are. I've been waiting for 4 in the running right now that I'm waiting for that first person who's going to get a year or more in prison, maybe up to 10.
Wow.
Damn.
So they've accelerated into the big leagues now.
Yeah.
Very rapidly.
Well, you have definitely been
busy.
Yes. To say the least.
And it was too much. And unfortunately, I think I burned my bridge with the main person that was keeping tabs on all the court cases. So, I don't know if somebody may pick that up where I left off and take it upon themselves and do what I was doing as far as the auditing community is concerned. But, I had, it was a demand on my health, and it prior to people stabbing me in the back. And then once that happened, it was a fear for my family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's most important that you stay safe and healthy, and we'll just keep in contact another way.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm more than willing to take on a couple of cases of if there's certain channels or individuals that need to be watched, and do a little research into their backgrounds. Keep an eye on them when somebody gets arrested, if we need to identify them, all these skills that I was starting to develop as far as dealing with the auditors. I can do that in the background. I just can't do it in the foreground anymore because too many people know who I am.
Right.
We understand that.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Right.
Yeah.
Very understandable. Well, Artie, I think I'm going to have to run here for just a minute. I didn't realize we were going to do this tonight, and it was an impromptu move.
Right.
So thank you so much, though, for the invite, and I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. We need to set up a time where we can all get together and talk.
Absolutely.
So I know everybody's busy, but we're a pretty tight-knit community, and some things just can't be said online. So
I agree.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, I understand where Desert's coming from, because the reason why if somebody was dedicated, they really could probably find out my real name and information, and they would then see that I am a practicing attorney, and then they could probably find my stuff out, and I could be blasted with somebody filing a bullshit ethics complaint against me. So I don't doubt that at all, and that's why I try to not make it easy for someone to figure out who I am. But more than likely, if you're dedicated, you probably could. But yeah, I understand where Des is coming from in terms of, like, if you piss off the wrong person, they can make your life hell just for doing what you're doing.
Yeah. All right, you guys, take care, and I'll see you later, okay?
All right, have
All
a
right,
good one, Virgo.
See you later, Virgo.
Bye.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Bye, Desert.
And Artie.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, John Reitfeld, otherwise known as Mere Beast, who is a practicing attorney in the state of California, has had several threats along those lines. However, he works in a firm in a position that they're not going to be able to touch him.
I gotcha.
But he's unique.
Right.
I don't have that legal expertise to fend off any attacks like that.
Yeah.
Many have threatened lawsuits, threatened actions with the bar, and he basically says, bring it on. All you got to do is have me served. My secretary will take it, kind of attitude. So, but he's cut back quite a bit too. He burned most of his Discord, and most people left because of it. And I think there was a little bit of issue that was starting to happen because of the openness of his Discord server.
Huh.
So I don't think he was beyond attack.
Right.
And I think people were probably, getting close to creating some sort of situation and that's the one thing about Discord, and even talking to DGen and even being in some of the channels in there. There's spies all over Discord. They're always taking screenshots. They're taking it back to people. And it's really hard to vet everybody.
Absolutely. I mean, even my channel, which a good chunk of my channel is like focused on my gaming side. Like, I accidentally brought in somebody under a name that I thought was somebody I trusted, and they ended up wiping out like a good chunk of my my list base willy-nilly.
Wow.
Like I honestly thought that they were somebody I knew from my channel, and unfortunately I gave them moderator status, and they completely cleaned out members of my entire channel, and they had to be re-invited back in. So I understand where you're coming from, and that's something that can happen. But I mean, that's something innocuous. But as Desert said, you can't vet anybody, especially when you're wanting to grow your Discord server. You're wanting to grow your channel. You want to be open to bring people in. Unfortunately, it could also mean bringing in bad actors who can ruin your day in more ways than one.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's that's all I can say about that. That's why I had to cut ties, and unfortunately, I may have lost a few friends doing it, but hopefully they'll get over it.
Yeah.
All I know is when I talked to my mother today, and she was aware of what I was doing, and she didn't like it. And when I called her today, she said, "Wow, you sound pretty good today. What's going on?" And I told her that I had stripped my YouTube channel and backed out of social media, and she's like, "Oh, no wonder you sound so good today." She's 85 years old, but she's a pretty smart cookie.
Sounds pretty smart.
So I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm just gonna lay low and take a little time, and if my services can make a difference, and I think more so where I mean, these auditors are going to be their own demise, but there's other actors out there, especially getting involved and understanding the sovereignty movement. Kind of still in kindergarten here, but I've been watching the sovereign movement as well. That's how I got an understanding of where a lot of the ideologies that the First Amendment movement was picking up from.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't even know what they're saying. They don't even know where it comes from. That they're just emulating what other auditors have emulated for the past 3 to 5 years.
I don't doubt that. I mean, that goes for the sovereign movement as well. Is like they find out, the lines to use, the particular scams to use, the A for V, the jurisdiction, the secured party creditor, the treasury accounts, the House Resolution 192. It's so. I don't know what to say about it anymore. How predictable it is whenever I see a new sovereign come in and they're saying the exact same shit as the previous person before him and the person before that. And despite all of the evidence to the contrary, saying that this shit is not real, it doesn't work, and that they're still going for it, and it's kind of obvious that they're just in it just to try and see if they can make a buck. But what can you do except try to counter it?
Yeah, and unfortunately, like I mentioned, that lady in Michigan, I actually spoke to her on the phone a few times, and she had somebody helping her. And when I was kind of talking to her on the phone about this help, and then I got her court records on her guilty verdict, and saw the motions that were being filed in the minutes. She was being helped by a sovereign.
Oh, wow.
And I tried to warn her about that. I said, this doesn't look right. You might want to consider getting an attorney in your area, because I don't know if it was true or not. She stated that this person was out of New York. But there are other actors out there that have been running around the First A movement because they don't get any traction in the sovereign movement. Because the First A seems to accept anybody that has a cell phone and a camera, that are, quantum language, David Wynn Miller followers.
Oh God, the quantum syntax language, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And claim that they can help draft motions for them and help them in their cases. And I've called a few of them out for that.
But they swear they're not giving legal advice or practicing law without a license, but they're preparing motions and briefs on your behalf. But yeah,
Yeah,
these
exactly.
fucking guys.
You know, and most of them, like this one particular individual who's out of San Francisco who is homeless, helping people prepare motions. I even had a screenshot of the van that he lives out of, and I guess he also lives out of a storage unit or something. I don't know.
Wait, he lives out of a storage unit? Like a
What?
self-storage?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he had this van, and I got a screenshot from one of his videos, and he had Black's Law Dictionary sitting in the passenger seat.
Of course he does. He lives in a van down by the river next to his pod. That's what it is.
Yep. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, he went by Second Son Media. Now he goes by Auditron. That was the guy I was going to try and coerce into coming and having a debate with you, but I gave up on the guy. The guy's a waste of time.
Oh man.
He washes windows. He has a window washing business.
Of course he does.
Yeah, he washes. I even found was able to track down one of the businesses that he washes windows at. I was gonna call him and ask him. You know, I was gonna find another business, you know, on the other side of town and tell him I'm Harry from Scrappy Doos and I'm looking for a guy to wash my windows. I hear you got a good one. I was going to try and get his information.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't think there's much more I can do over it in that camp anymore. There's plenty of people keeping an eye on those who are fucking up in in the First Amendment community. I was just one person. All right. Well, I don't know. You guys got any questions for me or anything?
I mean, not at the moment. I just, you know, as we already said before, you know, it sucks to hear what the situation you're going in, but it's also not surprising to see that happen, and so we kind of all hope that you get yourself situated. And but at the moment, I don't really have any questions for me. What about you, Goober?
Not me personally. I mean, it really does suck your situation. I mean, as he was talking about that, I just went on my Facebook and made sure I hid my jobs and everything because I know Devin's been trying to find info on us about where we work and stuff. So that's just what I need, is to get called into HR and be like, yeah, do we really want to talk about this?
Right.
Yeah, it was a concern for me right from the very beginning to go in and delete my current employment status and get it out of there if anybody happened to try and search me out. And I was mostly worried about law enforcement back then, really. I wasn't really worried about the community at large because they were all my friends. We all had cameras, right? However, then when I started seeing how nefarious some of these people are, I'm glad I did it. And luckily, my name is fairly common in this county. And my address is hard to find because it isn't real. Where I live in the desert, they kind of made up street names and put numbers on them. There's no street delivery for mail. It's all through a post office box.
Oh, damn.
And I've done some of the same searches on myself that I do on others. And the information that, like on My Life and that sort of thing, have it all wrong. They have some of my old addresses, but they don't have my current street address, and they don't have my employment correct. And other than my name and date of birth. And even then, when I did a search in the court system, the only thing that's in that court system is a speeding ticket I got like 9 years ago or something. I don't remember how long ago.
Gotcha.
Sadly, my name is not that common, so it's like shit.
Yeah, that's the fun part when I was, doing research on some of these auditors, and even though they have a common name or common spelling, they're the only ones that have extensive history in the courts. Every once in a while, though, there's a guy in Tucson, Arizona, Tuck Police Sucks, Mark Brown, and there are a gazillion Mark Browns that have problems in Pima, Arizona.
Oh, really?
Pima County, and I had to filter through by date of birth, and even then there was another Mark Brown that had a birthday month and year 1 month from his.
Oh, wow.
Damn, that's
So
pretty
there was
close.
like I identified like 5 different Mark Browns through date of birth and middle initial until I could filter through it all and get all of his history. And then I don't know if you've heard of this blind justice auditor, Michael Nelson. He was from Washington State, and he's in North Carolina now getting in trouble. So I had his name and date of birth and everything, but Washington State portals don't give date of birth. So I'm looking for Michael Nelson. I found some horrible things, and then come to find out when I did another search, I found a Michael Nelson who had been arrested like that week or that week prior when I was doing my searches, and he was in custody in Washington, and I knew I had 2 Michael Nelsons.
Brilliant. I kind of find myself lucky. Well, I don't know if I am lucky because, I mean, if I was in New York City, then I feel like my name would be fairly common. Outside of New York City, I don't know about that, but we'll see. However, the problem with me is that once people know if they know that I'm a lawyer, and if they get my name, then they could pretty easily, rule me.
Connect all the dots.
Yeah, connect the dots, because I mean it's easy to look up attorneys, with going to your state's judiciary website. So you could find anybody who's active or not inactive. So.
Yeah, 30 years ago, I had the sheriff show up to my apartment at the time, serving me papers for child support, and I looked at him and said, "I don't have any children."
Damn, that'd be an interesting one.
And I had to show him my Social Security card, and he looked at it and looked at the details of the Brian Hall that he was looking for, and he said, "You're right. This is the first time that this has happened to me. You are not the one I'm looking for."
You are not the Brian Hall we're looking for.
Yeah,
move along.
And I also, when I was younger, used to get phone calls all the time for another one who happened to be a musician and was in a band, and and girls would be stalking on this guy.
What?
Wait, women?
And they would find my phone number and call me looking for the guitarist in this area band. He worked at
groupies.
I don't even know if the place is still there. It's Ontario Music. He worked there and he played in a band. And every once in a while I would play with him, with these girl fans that were calling, just for shits and grins.
Nice.
But I knew the guy. That was the funniest thing. I knew the guy because I'd run into him at some of the area nightclubs and bars where his band was playing, and I walk up to him and go, "Hey, Brian Hall, I'm Brian Hall. I have some phone messages for you."
Oh, God.
But and I got, I received some paperwork in the mail that I was being sued, one of those advertisement kind of deals, where they go to the courthouse and pull case numbers and send you flyers.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I'm like, what the hell is this all about? So I ended up going to the courthouse and pulling the record and found out, oh, yeah, wrong one. Yeah, I literally went into the little room. They gave me the file so I could open it up and review it and look through it a little bit. And yeah, it was a collection civil action for somebody that lived, 60 miles from me. They were just doing, they were just doing skip tracing,
right.
trying to find a guy that ran out on a deposit or some bullshit.
Of course.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I have learned a lot, doing this. As far as, like I said, collecting data on people. So I'll be around. I'll be available.
Right on. Yeah.
I've just been looking for people that want to protect rights in a manner like this.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I agree. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just see so much of it being eroded, and the way the whole First Amendment genre has been going is all they're doing is repulsing the public, and the public are going to start talking to their representatives and demand change.
No, I hear you on that one. I mean, it sucks that it could take just a few bad apples to make it worse for everybody else, I guess would be the current.
Right. I mean, you look at this sort of situation and it's one of those things where I look at it as, I'm an attorney. My brother's a cop, that's his day job. And I see a lot of different avenues when it comes to dealing with law enforcement and the public. And I look at it in the sense of I see a lot of different sides of the issue. I see what cops have to deal with on their daily basis, that they're dealing with the assholes of the world the vast majority of the time. I also see instances where cops are going too far and cops are abusing their power. And so that's why sometimes I get conflicted when I see some of these First Amendment auditor type Johns. Not so much that these particular videos are where I agree with the auditors, but in the sense of these guys are acting in a way where it is completely killing any sort of sense of actual accountability that you want to place on law enforcement, because I see that. I see whenever a lot of these videos that these guys, they're not there to hold people to account. They're clearly there to antagonize and to basically piss people off for their own personal gain. And by doing that, you're going to get people to instantaneously side with law enforcement. And it's going to get to the point where they're going to side with law enforcement, where in a situation where, in my opinion, I would have said that law enforcement isn't in the right. And so you're going to see that kind of thing happen the more and more you have guys like these acting the way that they do and completely abuse the liberties that they're guaranteed.
Well, what I see a lot of these guys doing, though, and from my end, especially in the auditing community, and they discuss corruption and bad policing and bad officers and bad actors within government, most of the time they're Johnny-come-lately reporting on somebody who's already been arrested, tried, and convicted for a crime. And guess who put them there? Law enforcement and the courts. They didn't weed these people out. They didn't, there's very few, I mean, if any, that have done much. There used to be There used to be people out there that would get information back in the photography is not a crime days that would do investigations on particular actors and bring it to light. But that's not what these auditors are out there doing. They're not bringing anything to light. They're
Right.
just capitalizing on old news.
Right.
And one of the masters of capitalizing on old news is Earl David Warden News Now Houston. Now that was discussed in a video today of how he, rebroadcast a situation that occurred back in 2018 where somebody was, arrested, tried and convicted, or suspended, tried and convicted, and lost their job over an incident it was, I believe, a Border Patrol agent that hit a Native American and injured him, slightly, but still injured him.
Right.
And was fired over it. But it's like, okay, and did you, break this news? Did you take the video of him, running over this Native American and push it through to the district attorney's office and get this guy suspended and fired? No, he's just, for whatever reason, bringing up this news. So yeah, it's all a farce, and they're getting called out more and more for it. There's more and more people that are coming out, even in the YouTubes. And I know one guy in particular that was following me that commented a lot on my videos, a guy named Ian Woodfield, who's starting to come out with his own content. So there's more and more people bringing this stuff to light.
Yeah. Right, I hear you.
All right, well, I'm going to walk back inside, and for fear of the Wi-Fi system, and I really do apologize that, it comes out of the blue sometimes. And I think it's the system in the building that I work at. Every once in a while, I don't know why, latches onto my headset.
Yeah, no worries.
And
they've recovered.
It sounded like a really loud dial-up, didn't it?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Back to
that'd
that.
be pretty accurate.
I mean, I've been telling myself to do it, and I need to do it. That I need to go get a plug-in headset when I get on these conference calls, so I'm not on a Bluetooth.
Yeah, exactly. Well, don't worry. Make sure you get that next time we're on. But we'll let you know ahead of time.
Okay, well, I'll get my information to Virgo. Like I said, if you have contact with Freighter,
Right.
I don't know if you have contact with him. He's got my details. He knows how to get a hold of me.
Yeah, will do, man.
And and like I said, I'm in DGens, and you can always DM me through Discord through DGens.
Of course. No worries, man.
Yeah, or friend me, and I'll accept it.
Right on.
All right, man.
All
You
right,
guys
take care, man.
Goober,
See ya.
good talking with you.
All right, have a good one, Desert.
All right.
All right. I guess we're gonna have to wrap this up because the cat's looking at me. He wants his evening snack, and
Nothing wrong with that.
that's the only reason why he's here. If he wasn't wanting food, he wouldn't give me the time of day. But now that he wants the food, he's getting all cuddly and lovey-dovey like he is in the stream right here. So I'm gonna have to feed him his food, and we're gonna have to call it a night. But go ahead.
Oh, no worries. Thanks for having us on. I mean, it's been awesome.
Yeah, we gotta. Obviously this was kind of on like short notice, but we'll have to work on that and see if we can get like an actual consistent schedule going. But I'm glad we were able to get a couple of us on here. So
Yeah, weekends are best for me.
I gotcha. I'm thinking if it's gonna be on a weekend, I'm thinking maybe like a Sunday would probably be best for me.
That'd work.
Yeah. But all right. I'll see you around Goober, and I'll see all you
Have a
guys
good one, Artie.
in the chat. You guys have a good weekend, and I'll see you next time. Later, all.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right, guys. It was good. I'm glad a couple of people joined in. I'm glad the cat joined in. And I will see you guys next time. I promise it won't take me another like 3 weeks to put more content on this channel. So take care, guys. Have a good one. Adios.